Moises Caicedo has the ball. He's on the halfway line, at home, at Stamford Bridge, with his team only one goal down, and he just stands there, frozen, like he's waiting for a bus. Jeremy Doku doesn't wait. He steals it, runs, scores 3-0 at home to Manchester City. And with that, Chelsea's afternoon goes from bad to catastrophic. But to understand how it got this bad, we need to go back 24 hours, because this story doesn't start in West London. It starts in North London with a very red-faced Mikel Arteta. It's Saturday, April 11th, 2026, the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal are hosting Bournemouth, the sort of fixture that on paper is a formality. Arsenal are top of the Premier League, Bournemouth are mid-table, and yet Junior Krupi scores in the 17th minute. Arsenal equalise through Victor Gyökeres from the spot. Fine. Level. And then Alex Scott happens. 74th minute, 2-1 Bournemouth. The Emirates go silent. 60,000 people staring at each other like something has gone horribly wrong, because it has. Arsenal have just handed Manchester City the keys. The door is wide open. All City have to do is beat Chelsea the next day, and suddenly this title race, which looked very much over, is very much not over. And Pep Guardiola knows it, because Pep Guardiola always knows it. The man has spent a decade at the Etihad methodically dismantling opposition hope like it's a hobby. Now, on a grey Sunday afternoon in April, he walks out at Stamford Bridge with that quiet, unsettling calm of a man who already knows how this ends. On the other touchline stands Liam Rosenior, Chelsea's third manager in less than 2 seasons, because 3 months ago the club sacked Enzo Maresca. Maresca, the man who won them the Club World Cup, who delivered Champions League football, gone. Replaced by Rosenior, who was quietly managing Strasbourg in France and is now somehow in charge of one of the biggest clubs in England. No pressure. Chelsea are 6th in the table, 1 win in their last 7 league games. And today they get Pep Guardiola. Outstanding timing. The first half is fine. Technically, neither side scores. Chelsea have chances on the counter. Erling Haaland has an opportunity inside the very first minute. Doku plays him through, and he somehow skews it against Jorel Hato. Haaland, against a defender's leg. Cole Palmer is, by all accounts, absolutely fuming on the pitch. The cameras catch him seething throughout the first half. Marco Cucurella even has the ball in the net at one point, celebrating. Offside. Of course it's offside. And so half-time arrives, 0-0, tentative, like a first date where nobody said anything interesting yet. Pep Guardiola has clearly had some words at the break, because City come out of that tunnel like a completely different team. And right in the middle of all of it is Rayan Cherki, 22 years old, joined Manchester City from Lyon last summer for £45 million. This kid, this technically gifted French kid who was playing Europa League football not long ago, is now taking Stamford Bridge apart. He's everywhere, threading passes through gaps that shouldn't exist. 14 goal involvements this season already, and the number is about to go up. 50th minute, Cherki whips a cross in from the right into the 6-yard box. Andre Santos, Chelsea's midfielder, switches off, just mentally logs out for a moment. And darting beyond him, completely unmarked, is Nico O'Reilly. He gets his head to it. Powerful, clinical, into the net. Robert Sanchez doesn't move. 1-0 Manchester City. Stamford Bridge deflates like a balloon at a party nobody wanted to attend. And Nico O'Reilly, a 21-year-old City Academy product, celebrates in front of the visiting fans like he was born for this exact moment. 6 minutes later, 56th minute, City win a corner, the ball breaks, Doku to Cherki, and here is where Cherki shows everyone watching exactly why City paid 45 million for him. He gets the ball on the edge of the box, he beats Jorel Hato, then Estevao left to right, now he's basically taunting them, and then he slips a perfectly weighted pass through to Mark Guehi at the far post, who turns and fires it into the corner, 2-0, and Mark Guehi is celebrating in front of the Chelsea end, the ground where he came through as a youth player. He has come back and scored against his former club. The universe has a sense of humour. Let's just pause on that. Mark Guehi, Chelsea Academy product, the club that developed him, that invested years of coaching into making him the defender he is today. They sold him to Crystal Palace. Palace then sold him to Manchester City in January for £20 million. And 4 months later, he's scoring against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, where he grew up as a footballer. This is the kind of irony that usually only exists in fiction. And the Chelsea fans in that ground, They know exactly what they're watching, and it is awful. Now, a reasonable football team might try to respond, pull one back, make City nervous, get the crowd going, Chelsea try. Briefly, Palmer has a free kick that Donnarumma deals with comfortably. Sanchez pulls off a decent save from Semenyo at the other end. But City's possession stat sits at 67%. Chelsea have 33 at home to a team technically below them in the table. It's like being the host at a party and spending the whole evening hiding in your own bathroom. Dignified, really dignified. And then comes the moment that somehow manages to make everything worse. 67th minute, Moises Caicedo receives the ball around the halfway line. He's had a difficult afternoon, the kind where nothing clicks and every touch feels wrong. He turns, he pauses, he hesitates just for a second, but in Premier League football, a second is a lifetime. Jeremy Doku materialises from nowhere, steals the ball clean, makes the run, slots it past Sanchez before Chelsea's defence has even registered what's happened, 3-0, and Stamford Bridge is now somewhere between grief and absolute fury. Nico O'Reilly had already been substituted by this point and pulled off around the hour mark with a hamstring concern, which is just typical. City's best player of the afternoon, the man who broke the deadlock, limping off injured, just when his team are in full control. But it doesn't matter because Ryan Cherki has already done the damage. 2 assists, a performance so complete it almost feels rude. A 22-year-old in his debut Premier League season, tearing apart a crowd of 40,000 people who paid good money for this experience. After the final whistle, Liam Rosenior stands on the touchline looking like a man who has just received some very bad news by text. He says his team didn't perform well in the second half, which is accurate in the same way that saying the Titanic had some water issues is accurate. He admits Chelsea fell apart after City's first goal, that the reaction simply wasn't good enough. Meanwhile, across the pitch, Pep Guardiola is shaking hands, nodding calmly, being Pep, entirely unbothered, as if 3-0 at Stamford Bridge is just another Sunday, because for him, it sort of is. Let's talk about what this means. Manchester City are now 6 points behind Arsenal. With a game in hand, Arsenal, who lost to Bournemouth yesterday, are suddenly looking over their shoulders because in one weekend, the entire picture has shifted, and the April 19th fixture at the Etihad, Arsenal versus Manchester City, is now a potential title decider. If City win that, the gap becomes 3 points. With Arsenal having played a game more, at that point it's not a title race, it's a meltdown. Arsenal supporters will tell you it's fine, they are not fine. And Chelsea are now 4 points behind 5th place Liverpool, with 6 games remaining, 1 win in their last 7 league matches, and they face Manchester United next. After shipping 3 goals at home to a team who, until Saturday, weren't even considered title favourites, Liam Rosenior has been in charge for 3.5 months. Chelsea have spent astronomical sums building this squad, and they're sitting here in April fighting for 5th place. The ambition at this football club is genuinely breathtaking. The real tragedy, and I use that word loosely because we're talking about millionaires kicking a ball, is the Guehi situation. Chelsea let him go, then watched him develop into one of England's best centre-backs at Crystal Palace. Then City signed him in January for 20 million, and 4 months later he's scoring against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge with City fans singing his name. Sometimes football writes its own jokes, and Chelsea are always the punchline. It's almost impressive at this point, like a club policy. Develop them, sell them, watch them thrive, repeat indefinitely. So here we are, April 13th, 2026, the morning after the match. Manchester City are very much alive in the title race. Arsenal are very much alarmed. Chelsea are very much struggling. And somewhere Enzo Maresca, the man Chelsea sacked on New Year's Day, is watching all of this unfold from a distance. He won them the Club World Cup. He delivered Champions League football. They let him go. And his mentor's team, Guardiola's City, just embarrassed his former club 3-0 at their own ground. Some stories write themselves. This one practically typed itself. The Etihad awaits, and football, as always, remains completely unhinged.